makes it to work. The fourth one is the resultant. Any function you take in this manner, if you cannot understand that these three basic functions and the fourth resultant, you will not be able to perceive how the universe works. So the Shatvari Sangha Trayosya Padaha, in Sandhyavandana you also say the three things that makes the basic energy available is Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha. The resultant is Maha. So this is an universal pattern you have to see. So when the mind is with the eye, we will conclude it works at the velocity of light. When the mind is with the ear, it works at the velocity of sound. So it means the mind can work with different velocities. And all these visions are outside. Instead of mind being with the eye, if the eye is with the mind and eye are needed together for a vision. Whether the mind is with the eye or eye is with the mind, is all one and the same. But the only difference is, when the mind is with the eye, it works at the velocity of the eye, that is the velocity of light. When the eye is with the mind, it works at the velocity of mind. You follow? When the ear is with the mind, it works at the velocity of mind. Velocity of the mind is infinite. So a man can move from the velocity of light to infinite vision. It means he can see anywhere in the universe without elapsation of time. This process is called as Digbandhana, or it is also called in the yoga as Pratyahara. So we teach how to attain the Pratyahara, how a man can get into that particular status of the energy. Again, it's a pure science is involved. If that is the case, the man can have an internal vision at the velocity of light, an internal hearing at the velocity of mind. He can make any organ to work at the infinite velocities. So it means he can defeat the concept of time, understand everything in the universe without elapsation of time. This is how the Vedic knowledge has come. When the man is bestowed with such a great apparatus within him, he is trying to find and use an alternate external objects which is not necessary at all. So the thinking of the man in the Dharma is, make a man as mighty as possible. How much mighty? The law of genetics says, I have been brought by the Paramatma, who is the mightiest energy in the world. He is the mightiest of all energies. That is why he is called Almighty. So I am a byproduct of the Almighty. Genetically, if the Almighty is the byproduct of mine, the Almighty must be present within me. As such, everyone carries the Paramatma, the Sahasrara, and he can go to the level of the energy of the Paramatma. Because man is the totality of the creation. For that, what he has to do is, he has to energize the soul. From the soul, he has to move. So it means we can think that the man has got a totality, a complete soul, Annamaya for digestive organs, Pranamaya for sensory organs, Manomaya for mind, and Vijnanamaya for the intellect to function. These four koshas remains permanent. But only thing is, the difference between one man to another person is the quantum of energy of the soul. The quantum of energy of the soul decides whether one man is stronger or one man is weaker. All human beings have got the same type of soul. But the quantum of energy within the soul is a varying factor. That is why you see men with different qualities, different capacities, different capabilities, different knowledge, different types of working. All this happens because of the quantum of energy of the soul and the alignment of the grahas within the physical body. If that is the case, if every human can be made as strong as the Paramatma himself, if that is to be done, the Atman must be energized. The Atman can be energized only when you have an internal movement. So it means the external movement is to be cut off. The internal movement we have to start. Moving this internal movement, moving in that direction is what is called as tapaha. Because the internal movement happens one on account of the breath and another on account of the mind. The breath in Vedic terminology is used as ta. The letter ta indicates breath. The letter mind, that is pa, indicates the mind. The primary state of mind is called as pa. And if the mind is flowing in directions, it is called as bha. And if it flows in all directions, it is called as ma, papa, baba, ma. That is why you have got papu, pupil. And if you take ba, balaka, boy, Balaki, all commencing with Ba. Then you have got the last letter called as Ma, called as man or Manushya. This is how you take any language for that matter. These letters will be used in all the languages. It means the root of the languages is the vernacular letters from which we start everything. If that is the case, the man starts with the primary state of mind called as Pa. The object of this mind is, it must penetrate within every material. Then only you can get the knowledge of the material. To penetrate into the material means you have to go near every particle that you can think of. Going near is called as who is moving forward, and going near in the mind, it is called as Upa. And you have a darshan of that material called as Nayana. So it was achieved by a process called as Upanayana. Upanayana is not for a particular sect or anything like that. The man has to increase its strength. That is the purpose of life. It is done in tapaha. This tapaha is common to all the human beings. Any person who is in tapaha is increasing the strength of the soul. Contrary, he is doing the rakshana of the soul. Any person who engages himself, does the tapas and does the rakshana of himself, he is called as Daivi Manava. If he doesn't involve in the tapas, he is called as Rakshasa. A person who doesn't do the tapas is called as, he is not a Rakshaka Vyavastha, he is in the Rakshasa Vyavastha. So, any person who can travel inwards is called as Daivi Manava. A person who doesn't travel inwards is what is called as Rakshasa. So there are no separate Rakshasas at all. The Rakshasa is also within me. The Daivi Manava is also within me. The Daivatva is also within me. As such, you can't call another man Daman. A person who doesn't engage himself in rising the strength of the Atman, he is called Rakshasa. Because we strongly believe that as per the science, the energy cannot be created, energy cannot be destroyed. We take birth again and again. When we take birth, what is the purpose? Whether I take birth in America, Russia, England, France, any country, any religion for that matter, I take birth as a human. It is the responsibility of the society to see that you create a strong man, whether he takes birth in America, Russia or England. Because the purpose of life is to create the strongest humanity. That is called Dharma. So in Dharma you want to become strong yourself. You don't depend upon others. If you depend upon others, you beg them, oh, give me strength. In Dharma you want to become strong. Everyone wants to become strong. So the process by means of which every human being is made strong, in the common process, is Dharma. So Dharma is only one direction and oneness and in one way at all. Whereas in religion you are made a beggar. You beg somebody whom you consider as strong and ask for things. So in religion always you beg things. So those who are interested in begging, they go to religion. Those who are interested in Dharma, they travel within themselves. So the purpose of life is to create a strong soul. If that is the case, the souls are of different types. So we have to increase the quantum of energy of the soul. That is the purpose for which you have to use the breath and also you have to use the mind. So using the breath and the mind means the Indriyas must be with the mind, not the mind with the Indriyas. If the mind is with the Indriyas, you travel outward. If the Indriyas is with the mind, you travel inwards. So the velocity is far greater than the velocity of light. So that we have divided the energy into two patterns, working with Indriya, working Atindriya. The purpose of yoga is to make a man to work in the Atindriya's velocities. By putting a stop for the external action, that is why you close your eyes. You must also learn how to close the ears. It will be taught in the Pratyahara, how the Digbandhana is to be carried out. Probably at the end of these lectures I will give a hint for all those things. How to purify the matter, how to purify the body, how to get into these particular states so that everyone can achieve it. Then what are all the physiological changes that occurs in the human body? As such, let us know that the soul has got 4 parameters in the human body. These 4 parameters are permanent energies. It cannot be, that is, the construction cannot be altered, but the energy levels can be altered. The construction is Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya and Vijnanamaya in full is called human being. If the Vijnanamaya is less, then it becomes animation. If there is no Vijnanamaya and the Manomaya is also not there, If the Vijnanamaya is not there, it becomes prani, that is animals.